Hello, welcome back to the Temple of the Holy Beard. I'm Pastor Dave. This is your first time tuning in. Welcome, glad to have you. Hope you keep watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can, stay in touch with future videos. Recording today in a different location, a little bit closer to some of the animals. So we're going to get a little bit of background noise. You can hear my turkeys over there squawking. As soon as I start recording, of course, they want to join in. So they're saying hello. Yeah, I'm going to keep this video short today because I've got somebody who's going to be coming in a few minutes, so I might have to jump off quickly. But, purpose of this is been seeing the leaves fall off the tree, to be honest. And, last couple days, I've been noticing that for a couple of weeks, certain trees have been losing more leaves than others. Got pine needles falling in the pine trees. And, fruit trees have lost quite a few leaves. What does that mean? Well, for one thing, I'm surprised because this is October 26th, I believe. So it seems early. It's only October. Nope, hold on a second. That's wrong. This is August 26th. But I feel like leaves falling off the tree like it is now is more of an October thing. And so, yeah, it just seems a little odd. And in a lot of cases, it's just, a couple here, a couple there. I've been seeing for a few weeks, but came outside a couple days ago, and we didn't have a storm or anything overnight. It was just a normal night. It was no wind, if any wind, and the ground was kind of covered in leaves. Not a heavy blanket, but enough to say, I guess the seasons are changing. And I could be off on my calendar, but it does seem like It does seem like it's a little early in the year. So I don't know if that's climate change or just this year. We go through different climate cycles, and there's the yearly cycle, of course. Assuming depending on where you live, you might have 4 seasons. You might have 2 seasons, you might have 3 seasons, depending on where you live. But, those seasons change, and it's pretty regular from year to year. You pretty much stick with it. And it's just me, or are they getting louder? But we also have our 10-year cycle, which is, roughly every 10 years, the winds might change a little bit, the jet stream changes, and, things change a little bit every 10-ish years. If you're really in touch, if you really pay attention, you can actually feel it as it's changing. You can feel the lull or the increase in pressure and whatnot. And especially if you're older and you have arthritis in your joints, you definitely feel the increase in pressure. And decrease in pressure feels pretty good. Increase in pressure, not so good. But then we also have 100-year cycles, and I'm sure there's larger than that too. But even then, when we call it a 10-year cycle or a 100-year cycle, it may not be 10 years or 100 years to the day, to the year even. It might be off by a little bit. And, if, like, you've been watching these videos, you hear me talk about droughts in different places, water shortages, increase in fires. We've been having increase in fires in California for years. But increase in drought is growing. It's not the normal areas that it usually in. It's gotten into further areas in Texas where farmers are struggling to water their cows, and they're just selling off everything they have. So you might have been seeing an increase in beef prices over the last few months, and you'll probably start to see a decrease in beef prices. It's going to go down. But these farmers, the prices are going down because the farmers are selling off their cows because, well, for one thing, grain prices have shot up. So feeding any sort of grain or hay, if you have to buy hay, prices are shooting up for hay because fertilizers availability is down, and water's down. So areas that want to water naturally, if it's not raining, you're not getting water. Those crops are struggling or dying altogether. In some cases, they just don't grow at all, depending on how dry it is. Some cases, I'm hearing about, the hay should be knee high right now, and instead it's barely up to your ankles, or halfway up your shin. They might get another harvest, but it's going to be, a fraction of what it typically is. Same thing with corn. Right now, wherever you go, a cornfield should be 6 feet tall, roughly. And you'll see areas of the field where it might be shorter, which would be reduced amount of water in that area, or too much water. If water pools there, it's going to make it shorter. It won't produce as well. But and that's normal. But when you have an entire field that should be 6 feet tall in August, and it's knee high or waist high, that's a problem. I'm hearing about farmers in those cases where if it's not 6 feet tall right now, they know they're not going to get anything out of it, so they're just starting to cut their losses, and they're going to cut it for cattle food. Call it fodder. They cut it and they bale it in cattle food, which is good for the cattle ranchers because that fodder, that corn stalks, might cost less than the hay if they have to buy it. In a good area, they'll get enough rainfall to water the fields, and the cows can just graze. I laugh when I hear people talk about grass-fed beef like it's a big deal. Most of the beef is grass-fed. You don't have farmers that are feeding grain, seriously. You use grain to finish it. That's what gets that marbling. It mixes a little bit of fat in with the meat, gets the marbling, that flavor. If it's grass-fed the entire time, it tastes like mud. But you don't have cows that are not grass-fed. Even if it's not grass that's growing there, it'll be hay that's brought in to supplement the grass that doesn't grow there. But I digress. That's another thing. But yeah, it's getting towards the end of August right now. So take a look at yourself. Take a look at where you're at right now as far as your food supply that you have on. And everything else, and see if you are where you need to be, and adjust from there. Prepare for shortages, increase what you have, and just get ready. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Thanks for watching. This is Pastor Dave. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.